The Comcast Network presents high school football. This week's matchup, the Maine South Hawks take on the Mount Carmel Caravan in an Illinois State High School Association Class 8A state quarterfinal game. Welcome to Gately Stadium on the south side of Chicago, everyone. I am Perry Williams, joined by Mark Kruger. Great to have you with us live here on CN100. And Mark, two of the great programs in Illinois. First, let's talk about Maine South.
Maine South coming off of an impressive performance last week over Glenbrook South. They averaged 38 points per game. They pass the ball, Perry. They pass, and they pass even more. It's a very exciting team to watch.
Okay, let's talk about the Caravan of Mount Carmel. They won 10 state championships over the years. They, too, can move the football.
Yeah, they sure can. They average also 38 points per game. They get there a little bit differently, however, as they run the option as well as any team in the state.
Okay, let's talk about some of the key players you'll see here today. And for Maine South, it starts at that quarterback, and that's Charlie Gorel.
One of the most sought-after juniors in the area. A couple of interesting stats that pop out. 76% completion rate, and his touchdown passes 24 to only 5 interceptions. Incredible.
So also incredible for Mount Carmel is their running back, the tailback, and that is Tim Brown.
Tim Brown, he's going to go over the 1,000-yard mark for the season today. He has been incredible the first two playoff games, 5 touchdowns, close to 300 yards in Mount Carmel's 2 playoff victories.
So there we have it. It's Maine South and Mount Carmel. A trip to the state semifinals is at stake. Eric Schmidt along the sideline as well. We'll kick it off next, watching high school football live here on CN100.
You're watching the Comcast Network, CN100, Chicago. Comcast and the Illinois High School Association are teaming up to tackle the prep football playoffs. Look to CN100 for 4 straight weeks of the top postseason matchups in Chicagoland through the semifinals. Then the IHSA network piles it on with more semifinal games. November 16th and 17th on WPWR My 50. The My 50 tradition continues Thanksgiving weekend with 24 hours of state title games November 23rd and 24th. Stay in the game all season long with Comcast and the IHSA.
It's not always clear how what happens around the world affects suburban Chicago. That's why you need the Daily Herald. We give you not only the big picture, but also the local focus on international events, business, politics, sports, entertainment, and more. And we do it better than anyone. To subscribe, call 800-354-4966 or visit dailyherald.com. Because if you want to know what's happening around the world or around the block, you need the Daily Herald. Big picture, local focus.
Welcome back, everyone, to Gately Stadium on the south side of Chicago, our Class 8A quarterfinal game between Mount Carmel and Maine South. We'd like to remind our viewers that coverage of today's game is supported in part by our good friends from the Daily Herald. The Daily Herald continues to set the standard of excellence for local sports coverage. Read all about the game in the Daily Herald. The Daily Herald, big picture, local focus. And by Comcast, digital cable with on-demand, high-speed internet with Power Boost, and reliable home phone service. Get all 3 great products with one convenient bill. Call 1-884-BEST-TV and ask about the triple play. On our field today will be Eric Schmidt. Let's go to Eric now.
Thanks, Perry. Now, we know that these two offenses are entirely different. Mount Carmel running that old school option. Maine South running the spread option, or the spread offense, excuse me. The interesting thing is neither one of the defenses have really had a chance to see the opposing offense this season. That will be interesting. Now, you see the spread offense a little bit more often at the high school level now. It seems that the kids have more time to practice the intricacies of this offense. You can hide a weak offensive lineman in this offense because all they're doing is pass blocking. The thing you cannot do is hide a weak skill position player. One busted route out of 5 guys running downfield will really ruin a player. Now for Maine South, Coach Sarah has 10 kids with 30 or better ACTs. This intelligence really allows him to not only run this offense, but build upon it each and every week. So Mount Carmel not only is going to see an unfamiliar offense today, they may get some looks that they don't have on tape also. Guys, let's go back upstairs to you.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Eric Schmidt doing the sideline today for us as we are live here on CN100. I'm Perry Williams, joined by Mark Kruger. The teams are back on the field, and interesting lead. Both teams with a averaging 38 points a game and giving up 12 points a game, almost identical point differentials.
Interesting, and how Eric talked about the two different contrasts of styles offensively for both of these two teams. Should be a lot of fun. One thing we should mention here too, Perry, ideal weather conditions here. A little overcast, the sun is out in periods of time, but usually as you go deeper and deeper into the playoffs, the weather becomes a factor, but not this afternoon.
Okay, a factor right now is our national anthem. So let's hear our salute to the United States of America.
This time in harm's way. Now let's all join in singing as the United States Navy Band plays our national anthem.
So our national anthem here at Gately Stadium on the south side of Chicago, our Class 8A state quarterfinal matchup between the Maine South Hawks out of Park Ridge. They're visiting white uniforms. They are the 5th seed in this quadrant, the upper quadrant of Class 8A, against the #1 seed unbeaten Mount Carmel out of Chicago, the Caravan. Let's take a look at that Maine South offense, Mark, and this is that high-powered attack, and they sure spread the ball around to those wide receivers.
He sure does. He's got 4 real good ones. Charlie Goro, we'll talk about him and his numbers. Interestingly, though, Perry, last week against Glenbrook North, didn't have the big game passing. He ran the ball, did Charlie, 19 times for 144 yards, showing his versatility.
Well, Maine South did win the toss, and they've elected to receive it, and they'll be going from the north to south, and from we're sitting up here, left to right. Let's take a look at the very talented Mount Carmel defense. They are unbeaten. Is the Caravan 11-0. Of course, they're led by the Notre Dame recruit, Steve Filer.
Steve Filer, of course, the defensive end. Glenn Foster as well, who made a verbal commitment to Illinois. But this defense, one of the more athletic units you'll find anywhere in the entire state of Illinois.
So there you have it. And these teams did play in the 1995 state championship game. At that time, it was only 5 classes, so it was 5A. And Maine South won a thriller, 31-28. A lot has changed since then, but not the two great programs, still success. We are at Gately Stadium, live on CN100 in Chicago, the south side. I'm Perry Williams, along with Mark Kruger. Great to have you with us along for what should be a very exciting, interesting matchup here in the Class 8A state quarterfinal. Winner will take on the winner of the game tonight between Friend and Glenbard North. Glenbard North, one of those surprise teams that seems to sneak through the playoffs each and every year, and they've done so again. They'll take on the unbeaten Friend Vikings in the other part of this bracket.
Perry, it'll be interesting for Maine South. The Hawks, their first offensive possession. The first 2 playoff games on their first offensive possessions, they went down and scored rather easily. We'll see what happens here in the 3rd round in this quarterfinal matchup against a very, very tough Mount Carmel defense.
The freshman Negro, they will be kicking off, will the Caravan, right to left. And Joey Orlando is one of those deep, along with Danny Benson for the Maine South Hawks. It's a short kick, and it is taken at the 24-yard line and up to the 34-yard line. And that's where the Maine South Hawks will take over on offense. 1st and 10 for Charlie Goro. Tony Canizero returning that short kick. And right nose of the football is just about touching the 35-yard line. So Goro, the junior, will take over 1st and 10. And if you've never seen Maine South before, they do spread a lot of receivers. They keep one back in normally, and that's the senior David Chow.
Offensive coordinator Charlie Bliss does a great job with this ball club.
In motion is Danny Benson, and he gets a little swing pass. Benson at the 35, at the 40. Benson close to the first down marker. As right away they go to the air, and a nice pickup. And Brian Stanford is the one that brings him down.
This is exactly how they started off the ball game against New Trier a couple of weeks ago. Just that little swing pass out to Danny Benson. He's the all-time leading receiver for this Maine South Hawk team and picks up positive yardage on the first play from scrimmage.
Picks up 9 yards to be exact. The ball at the 44-yard line. So right away they go to the air. Goro only 7 of 10 last week, but they ran the football well. There's a good look at Benson, number 21. 323 yards rushing for the Maine South attack last week. And here's the running back Chow, and Chow has enough just for the first down past the 45-yard line.
Yeah, just enough, Perry. He got that 1 yard. You mentioned the running game. David Chow last week, 31 times he carried the ball, Perry, for 163 yards. So we talk about the offensive passing attack of Maine South, but they can also get it done on the ground.
They're usually one of those teams, Mark, that use the pass to set up the run. So now Goro sets up in the shotgun formation. His center, by the way, is Mike Kendrick, as you saw in our open. In motion is Benson, left to right. Now Goro, a little sprint out to the right. The pass is complete. Incomplete to wave it off, intended for Jake Gatziolis at the 48-yard line. So 2nd and 10 coming up at the 45-yard line.
Keith Nunez was there on the coverage defensively for the Caravan. First incomplete pass. He's taking a look at Steve Filer there. We're going to touch on him later on in the ball game. What a defensive performer he is.
Yes, he's the winner of the Lawless Award for
the
top senior in the Chicago Catholic League.
Headed to Notre Dame.
Headed to Notre Dame, and excited about it. Mechanical engineering, an academic interest of his. Here's the give now to Benson in motion. Benson tried to cut forward. Now he cuts back to the sideline, but what a nice open field tackle by Filer. We just talked about him, the Notre Dame recruit. So 3rd and long coming up for the Maine South Hawks.
Good lateral quickness that time by Steve Filer. You see the end of it here. Benson wanting to cut back on the inside. You see him right here. Nope, and then he wants to cut to the outside, but Filer is right there and makes a great tackle.
Credit to Demetrius Carr, too, to kind of force the action. So 3rd and 10 coming up. There's a good look at Steve Filer. We just mentioned him. He's a senior, 6'3", 220. Inside linebacker, led the team in tackles. One
of the leading candidates for the player of the year in the Chicagoland area as well, Perry.
Now it's a 3rd and 10 for Maine South. Now Goro splinting to his left. Downfield has a man, and it's Benson, and he has the first down and a bit more in Mount Carmel territory all the way to the 43-yard line. Nice adjustment by Benson on the far sideline to make the grab. So now Goro's 2 out of 3.
Perry, take a look at Benson here. He had to keep his feet. You see him, look at him put his hand down. He had his feet, knee never touched the ground, and he got about 3 more yards out of on the play to pick up the first down. Great job by Benson.
Almost like a little crab walk. Keep going to get that first down. Because he was about a yard or two short.
Right.
So 1st and 10, big 3rd down pickup for Maine South. Opening drive of the ball game. Here's the fake. Now Chow gets it, and he fights forward down to the 40-yard line. Pretty good penetration by the Caravan defensively.
Kyler Kopak had him behind the line of scrimmage, but he broke that tackle, picked up some yardage. And boy, you like the different type of plays that offensive coordinator for Maine South, Charlie Bliss, we talked about him, mixing it up nicely here in the opening drive.
Charlie Bliss is one of those coaches well known throughout the entire state for grooming the quarterbacks and very creative offense. He has that 7-on-7 Maine South passing league in the summertime, and a lot of quarterbacks from all over the area participate. Now 2nd and 8. Here's the pitch to Chow. Chow is hemmed in there, and he is just swarmed a loose ball, and the Caravan have it. And now it's still scramble for the ball, and it does go over to the Mount Carmel defense. And coming up with a loose ball is Dan Kosey, the junior free safety.
Wow, Mount Carmel with a swarming defense, creating the first turnover of the afternoon. Take another look at it here, Perry. Whole bunch of Mount Carmel Caravan were there. There's the drop and the fumble recovery. Dan Kosey finally picked it up for the Caravan.
So our first turnover of the ball game, the 5th fumble recovery of the season by the Caravan. They've now forced 15 fumbles and recovered 5, but a big one here in the state quarterfinals. 1st and 10 for the quarterback, Jordan Lynch. Now Lynch on the pitch out, And Williams, the ball carrier, Edwin Williams, another talented tailback. You know, a lot of people talk about Timmy Brown. As you take a look at that Mount Carmel offensive attack, and boy, can they run the option well, led by that junior quarterback, Jordan Lynch.
You see Tim Brown there, and of course Edwin Williams. Those two are the 1-2 guys in this offensive attack. Kevin Karash made the tackle defensively for the Hawks.
So pick up a 3 on first down, the ball at the 47-yard line. Opening quarter, opening drive of the game for Mount Carmel after the Maine South turnover. 2nd and 7, Lynch with the eyes, the back split behind him. Now straight ahead, now the pitch rather, the fake to Williams. And he is brought down on a brilliant open field tackle by Frank DeVito. DeVito had him and wouldn't let him go. It's a good thing because he had some yardage ahead of him.
It's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down marker. Here's another look. Nice run by Tim Brown. You see him getting the pitch, cut to the outside, and a fine tackle there by DeVito around the ankles, but it's going to be a couple yards short of the first down.
Boy, what a game Brown had last week at Palatine, shutting out the Pirates. He had 2 long touchdown runs, 88 and 92 yards, and returned the second half kickoff 90 yards for a score. So pretty productive game for him. But let's see what the Caravan do here today. Their first 3rd down situation, 3rd and 2 at the Maine South 48. Lynch. And now our first flag of the football game. The delay of game. Our official is Jim Gleekert, our referee. The rest of our officials here today.
Dead ball foul, delay of game. Mount Carmel.
So that'll make it 3rd
Still
and
3rd
7.
down.
So Jim Gleekert is our referee. Our umpire is Steve Terensky. George Casper, line judge. John DeCasey is our back judge, and Ken Kessler is our lineman. There you see our officials for today's game.
Very familiar names.
Yep.
A good officiating crew here this afternoon. By the way, Mount Carmel, 47 of 93, 51% 3rd down conversions for the season.
Well, now they have 3rd and 7, back to their own 47. Lynch to the air for the first time, looking downfield, has a man. The pass is incomplete, intended for Brent Butler on the near sideline, and just could not come up with it.
Well, Jordan Lynch threw a pretty good ball right there. I tell you, we talk about Charlie Goro and his offensive numbers. Look at this throw. Pretty good throw. That should have been caught. Coverage there, Frank DeVito, but I think that one should have been caught.
So now the Caravan will face a 4th and 7 at their own 47, and they will go back in punt formation. And Brown will be the player doing the punting, standing his own 35. Orlando and Benson deep. Now a timeout taken. Timeout taken by Mount Carmel with 7:02 remaining here in our first quarter. So the Caravan not able to cash in on that turnover, as the Maine South defense comes up and makes a stop after the offense turned it over. And here's a look at that Hawk defensive effort. And certainly they can do the job too. They don't get quite the publicity the offense does, Mark, but they can certainly come up big when they have to, and they stop Mount Carmel at least on that drive.
Alex Darty, the leader up front, along with Mike Nelly, Chris Fahey, who was the captain, a starter last year, all-conference performer, one of the leading tacklers at linebacker for this Maine South defense. Interesting, Curry, we talk about this high-powered offense, but both teams in their first offensive series having to punt.
Well, let's go. There you see the Maine South crew on hand. Big crowd for both teams, and Eric Spitz on the sideline.
You know, Perry and Mark, Mount Carmel will throw a little bit more often than people give them credit for. They average about 10 passing attempts a game. But the interesting thing today is at the receiver, they're a little banged up. Justin Morgan is not dressed today, and leading receiver Justin Bracken is suited up today, but he is banged up. That's why you see 2 juniors lined up as the receivers in Butler and Picard. And as Mark said, a catchable ball on 3rd down there going to a junior. Guys?
Okay, Timmy Brown back to in punt formation at his 35, and deep is Benson and Orlando. Here's the snap, and Brown gets the punt away, and Orlando will take it at his 20-yard line, and trying to turn the corner, gets a block, does so. Orlando still on his feet, and finally he is tripped up after a nice run back as Victor Alvarez makes the special teams coverage tackle for the Caravan of Mount Carmel.
Nice return that time by Joey Orlando, doing a lot of east-west running instead of north-south, but still a nice return. Take a look at it right here. See Orlando going to the far side, now stopping,
and he makes a little turn there.
Yeah.
But it looked like there was an opportunity coming back to this sideline here, or to the least middle part of the field, but that's where Alvarez got him. So here come the Hawks on offense again, second time here this afternoon. And Goro, the quick pass, little swing pass to Benson again. Benson with the first down, and he held on to the ball as the Caravan certainly trying to tackle that, but finally he's brought down by Kosi. Kosi is the player that recovered the fumble last time Maine South had the football. Let's take another look at it.
10-yard reception and a first down. Nothing fancy that Maine South does this. Again, it's Danny Benson, the leading receiver. And I like the way his fellow receivers block for him after he catches the ball, Perry. Very important.
Boy, if you're going to play wide receiver for Maine South, you have to learn how to block downfield, and they've done that so well all year, as they traditionally do. Now back to the other side now. Goro, who can run it, and he'll do so this time. And still on his feet, Goro finally driven out of bounds. But he gets a first down, gets a great block by David Chow to help spring him along the near sideline back into Mount Carmel territory.
Well, see, that's one of the things that Charlie Goro, you talk about his passing numbers, but great job of coverage by Mount Carmel down deep. And here you see him running the ball across the 40, and he finally gets brought down across midfield. Charlie Goro, underrated as a runner, but believe me, folks, he can get the job done.
Pick up a 15 yards back in Caravan territory at the 48-yard line. So first and 10 for the Maine South Hawks.
Charlie, by the way, Perry, is starting wide receiver last year as a sophomore, so very athletic.
Yep, he certainly has made the transition. The quarterback here is to get to Chow. A little delay. Chow, who coughed at the ball last time, and he is brought down quickly by Jeremy Johnson, the inside linebacker.
Jeremy Johnson with a nice job grabbing him below the knees there, bringing him down, but not before another good pickup here. And you like the mix here by Maine South, but Mount Carmel's defense is shutting them down when they need to.
So second down coming up, 2nd and 5, a pickup of 5 for Chow. 5:45 remaining, no score, first quarter. Class 8A state quarterfinal. Gatziolis and Benson and Orlando to the left. Receiver to the right, Craig Hoffman, number 89. Now Benson in motion, left to right. And Goro on the keeper, and he is hemmed in there, and he is brought down. Nice tackle that time by Ryan McGlynn. It's 3rd and 2.
Steve Filer was also there. Yep,
Steve Filer, let's correct that. Yep.
Defensive pursuit, good defensive pursuit that time by Mount Carmel. You see 3 or 4 Caravan there, bringing them down there.
Yeah, Tim Brown, as you mentioned, brought him down. So 3rd and short coming. We're going to call it 3rd and 3. The ball at between the 40 and the 41-yard line. So 3rd down opportunity for Maine South. They're 1 for 1 here this afternoon. Now Benson, Orlando, the fake pitch, and he is trying to find some running room, but he is hemmed in and brought down shy of that first down marker. So 4th down coming up for Maine South.
Well, Steve Filer was flying over the line of scrimmage. Look at the replay here. Look at 44. He got in, but quarterback Goro did a nice job, and it was Shane Sullivan, number 37, it looked like, bringing him down.
So 4th down, they're going to go for it. The ball at just inside the 40-yard line.
Need just what? About a yard, Perry.
Yep. 4th and a long yard.
Big play here.
Goro. Fans on their feet here at Gately Stadium. Now Benson in motion. Now Goro under pressure. Has his man Gatziolis. First down and more. Gets a big block. Gatziolis inside the 20. Down to the 20. Check that, the 17-yard line plus a flag. Flag has been thrown. Big block by Benson. We talked about that downfield blocking of the Maine South receivers, and let's see what the penalty's about.
23-yard reception, but as you mentioned, the officials talking things over what the flag is all about.
Gatziolis is kind of the...
Oh,
it's against...
We want to take intent.
Let's take a look at it. Let's see if we can pick it up on our...
See the roll. You see Glenn Foster with some pursuit and pressure behind.
During the run, block in the back, offense. It'll be first down after a 10-yard loss.
Didn't quite actually see that one, but it is a first down for Maine South. They moved the chains, mark it back from that spot. So first down for the Hawks, but it's back at the 34-yard line. Now, Ganciolis is kind of one of the receivers they go to in that clutch. If there is a possession-type receiver, he doesn't get some of the pub that Orlando or Benson get for sure, but he's sure hands. Of course, every time we say that, watch, he'll go to him and he'll. But now it's a first down at the 34-yard line for the Hawks of Maine South. Coming out 4 minutes remaining here in our first quarter, no score. The fake to Benson. And all kinds of time. And finally gets Benson. And Benson is hemmed in there, spins his way forward back to the original line of scrimmage. But nice coverage by Victor Alvarez, as the protection was brilliant for Goro, but certainly credit the secondary. He had to go to that safety valve, and it was Benson.
Look at that time. No Mount Carmel near Goro, and then you see the fine open field tackle there. You mentioned Victor Alvarez, but all the time in the world for Goro. Give some credit up front. Mike Kendrick, Chavez, O'Mara, Murray, and Oning doing a great job on the offensive line, giving Goro a lot of time to throw the ball.
Goro is 5 for 6 here to start the ball game, and he faces a 2nd and 10 at the 34-yard line. And here's the give to Chow. Chow with some running room. Chow fighting for the first down marker, and he picks up the first down. David Chow, the senior, as they faked the Benson, came back to Chow, and Chow picks up enough yardage for the first down.
Tim Brown finally bringing him down from behind, but not before, as you mentioned. Another first down here by David Chow, the 6', 194-pound senior. I tell you what, this Maine South offense now starting to click, starting to move the chains, getting some momentum. And now, Perry, we talked about the short passes of Goro, and then, of course, sets up play action.
Absolutely, and Maine South, the 11 yards on that Chow carry, they won't necessarily have the big strike capability, but boy, they just churn out some nice yards. Benson then, Benson inside the 20, taken down to 18, pick up a 5 on the play. And making the stop that time was Keith Nunez, the defensive back, the senior. 3 interceptions in the year for him, makes a nice stop. Not before 5 yards picked up on the carry.
Mount Carmel coming into this game undefeated, 11-0. Of course, that you have to go all the way back to that exciting Week 1 win over Joliet Catholic at Soldier Field. What a crazy finish that was. And of course, Maine South with only 1 loss in Week 3 to Glenbrook North, 13-10.
Here's Benson, the quick pass. Boy, he has brought down a great tackle immediately. And it was Demetrius Carr, the strong safety, that brought down Benson. So we have a 3rd down coming up again for Maine South.
6'1", 190-pounder.
Here's that Soldier Field play you talked about.
Look at this, just a prayer. Caught by the receiver. This was like about a minute left to go in the ball game. This is what gave the victory.
That was Brandon Picard. KJ Picard took it all the way, and a miracle victory. They had to go to triple overtime later in the year against Loyola. And he mentioned the Maine South lost to Glenbrook North, 3rd week of the year, but since then on a roll. Now here's the pitch, grabbed by Chow. Chow fighting his way toward that marker. He stopped shy of it. So 4th down coming up again for Maine South. And Johnson again, that inside linebacker, back to make the stop for the Caravan.
Well, interesting call here. It's going to be 4th down, as you mentioned, Perry. It's going to be about a half a yard, well within the field goal range, but we'll see what the Maine South Hawks decide to do. Looks like they'll go for it.
Orlando is their field goal kicker. They're 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions. And that was the pass to Ganciolis downfield. So 4th and 1 at the 14-yard line. Now under center. And there is a quick timeout taken by Mount Carmel on 4th and 1. Now let's see what the, yes, they got the timeout in just before the snap was made. So 2nd timeout here in the first half taken by the Caravan. Hey, high school football fans, did you miss last week's CN100 Game of the Week? Great game it was. If you didn't miss it, now you can see it when you want with On Demand from Comcast. Just click the On Demand button on your Comcast remote control. Scroll down the menu to Get Local. From there, you click on the CN100 Comcast Network folder. Find and select the Game of the Week folder and simply select the game. Play, pause, fast forward, or rewind your favorite plays. You're in control. Check back this week, and you'll also be able to watch this game on demand as well. It's the Comcast Network Game of the Week on demand from Comcast. So it's 4th down coming up, 4th and 1 at the 14-yard line for Maine South. Very methodical drive by the Hawks that they've done during the playoffs. We are at Gately Stadium on really a pleasant November afternoon. for round 3 or the state quarterfinals, Class 8A.
Interesting, Perry. Maine South 18 plays from scrimmage. Mount Carmel only 4 thus far.
But the number that matters most on the scoreboard, no score yet. 54 seconds remaining in our first quarter. It's 4th and 1 at the 14-yard line. Now Goro under his center, Mike Kendrick, the senior.
They gave it to Chow before the timeout.
And here's Chow again, trying to fight for the yardage.
I don't know, Perry.
I don't think he got the spot.
I don't think so.
Anthony Battle. And it'll depend on the spot. I don't know if he got the favorable spot. It's awfully close. Kapchak was there, and now the chains come in.
Big mark right here. I don't think
he stopped short. Yeah, you can even see they stretch it. So the Caravan hold on 4th down. So Kapchak and Battle, the big men up front, doing the job. Let's take another look at it.
Here it is. It was Chow once again, and they met him right at the line. Great job. You see there towards the end, Anthony Battle battling and getting the ball for his team.
So it's the old bend but don't break defense for the Caravan, and Jordan Lynch on for the second time here in the ball game. 1st and 10 late in the first quarter. The ball on his own 14-yard line. So here's Lynch. Eyes split, the back split behind him rather. Now the quick hand straight ahead, nothing doing. Big hit by Pat Clark.
Zach Tim also was there. Boy, take a look at the hit here. Both Clark and Tim combining for the stop. Pat Clark, 6 foot, 186 pound middle linebacker, a senior for this Maine South Hawk defense. A defense, Perry, that's a little bit underrated. I mean, a lot of this credit given to this Maine South offense, but a very good defensive unit as well.
So he picks up 2 yards. It is 2nd and 8. Could be the last play of the first quarter. Here's Lynch under center. Back split behind him. Now the fake on the option. Here's Lynch with some blockers. And he's heading in there, and a great stop by Tommy Mack. Tommy Mack coming in number 2, and he brought Lynch down as the first quarter comes to an end here at Gately Stadium. And it will be 3rd down coming up for the Caravan when we return on CN100. We're live on the south side of Chicago, your Class 8A state quarterfinal matchup.
You're watching the Comcast Network, CN100 Chicago.
When it comes to entertainment, Chicago is no second city. The Chicago entertainment scene is loaded with high-profile movie premieres, renowned film festivals, legendary music venues, distinguished theatrical performances in world-class hotels, restaurants, and nightclubs, all of which attract the biggest names in the entertainment world to Chicago. Stay tuned for the premiere of Primetime Chicago, coming soon to CN100.
Welcome back, everyone. We're live here on CN100, the Comcast Network. Second quarter about underway. I'm Perry Williams along with Mark Kruger and Tommy Muck with a nice stop there on 2nd down. So 3rd down coming up for the Caravan of Mount Carmel. No score. Class 8A quarterfinal game. And there you see the sideline for Maine South, and Eric Schmitz on the sideline as well. There's the Caravan. And it's 3rd and 7. Mount Carmel with 11 yards total in the first quarter, dominated by Maine South, but big 4th down stop by the Caravan defensively. Now let's see what the Hawks defense can do as the Caravan have a 3rd and 7 at the 17-yard line. Nice weather and nice field conditions because it is a turf here at Gately. Don't have to worry about any mud or anything like that. So Lynch now back to throw on the play action, has his man and through the hands of Brent Butler. So 4th down coming up.
Boy, oh boy, I don't know if you can throw it any better than that. Jordan Lynch right there, unfortunately through the hands of Brent Butler, junior wide receiver. Take another look at it here. This is a couple of, there's the...
Yeah, just about nice coverage there by Muck.
Yep.
And
Brett knows he should have had that one. 9 out of 10 times he's going to catch that one.
Yep. So now Brown is back to punt it away for the Caravan, and Benson, the lone man back for Maine South. He's at the Caravan 47.
Boy, Maine South should get excellent field position here, Perry.
And they come in quick, but the Caravan get a roll. Picked up by Benson on the bounce at the 40, and he runs out of bounds.
Wow,
dangerous territory.
Oh, Brett Butler was breathing down his neck, made a tough decision to pick it up, but it was a gutsy one, and it worked out for Danny Benson. Wow. Brett Butler was all over Benson there, but nice job with eluding.
Yeah, nice job though by Brown to get that punt away. There was pressure by South, so now the Hawks have the ball offensively. Third time today, they've moved the ball. They fumbled one, and then first time, then they were stopped on fourth down the second time.
Boy, Perry, it's starting to turn into a field position game.
Yeah, it is. Now here's Goro. Out of the shotgun on first down. And he sprints to his right, and the pass is complete and incomplete. Benson had it, but bounces out on the coverage that time was Keith Nunez. So 2nd and 10 coming up for the Maine South Hawks.
Well, Charlie Goro just seems so poised and controlled, Perry, when he's in that shotgun formation. And some other quarterbacks maybe have a little happy feet, maybe want to get the heck out of there, but he is so poised and controlled in that pocket.
Yeah, he is, and he does a nice job whether he's under center or out of the shotgun. He is, of course, a junior, getting a lot of attention as a junior at being 6'3", 182. He's got the nice physical size, and he's got the ability to run the football team as he's done all year and done it well. Now he'll do the quarterback draw. Here's Goro, and he's finally tripped up there by Jeremy Johnson, and also his own man was around there. So 3rd down coming up for Maine South.
Like a little bit of a delayed draw here. There was a lot of room open up the middle.
So another 3rd down call coming up for Maine South.
Steve Filer, Dan Kosey were both there defensively for the Caravan.
So Maine South 1 for 3 on 3rd down. And now they face another one. It's 3rd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
2-down territory, have to believe here.
Chow, he's staying in for blocking, and the pass is incomplete. Nunez on the coverage. And boy, he just belted the receiver Benson.
Boy, oh boy.
So another 4th down coming up at the 32-yard line.
You can't have much better coverage than Keith Nunez. I mean, he was all over Benson. Look at this. That is just awesome coverage, but Benson, we mentioned the all-time leading receiver for Maine South, coming down with it.
So another 4th down. They're 1 for 2 on 4th down conversions. They were stopped last time at 4th and 1 in the first quarter. It's 4th and 3 now at the 32. And Goro in the shotgun. Chow to his right. In motion is Gatziolis. The sprint out. In trouble. And the pass is incomplete, as Filer was coming on in, provided all that pressure. So for the 2nd time in a row, the Caravan have held on defense and get the ball back over on downs. Look at Filer coming on in.
Absolutely. Your big-time players come up in big-time situations. Steve Filer applying the pressure right there, forcing Goro to throw an incomplete pass. Shook off 2 blockers to get in and apply the pressure. Boy, Steve Filer, he is going to be a good one at Notre Dame.
So here's Lynch again at quarterback now. Here's a gift straight ahead to Edwin Williams. And he was brought down there by John Cottrell.
It's going to be important here now for Mount Carmel to get things going offensively, Perry. We touched on the number of offensive plays in the first half, dominated by Maine South. Now Mount Carmel trying to get things going here on the ground.
There's a look what Williams has done this year, 12 touchdowns. Here's Lynch. Now Lynch on the option for Brown. Brown is hemmed in there. Nice pursuit by the Maine South defense, led by their captain, Pat Clark.
gotta like the defensive pursuit of the Hawks. You mentioned Pat Clark was there. Caravan really not able to get things going offensively here, but they have a 3rd down and 6 situation here. Call it 3rd down and about 4, actually.
Yeah, they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. Let's see what they can draw up here. Ball on their own 38-yard line. On the artificial turf here at Gately Stadium. So perfect field and weather conditions. Now Lynch. And on the pitch to Williams. Has some running room. Williams on the far sideline getting chased. Buck is able to drive him out, but a big carry and 1st down all the way to the 29-yard line for Tommy Buck. Finally made the tackle, pick up a 33 yards.
Just a matter of time before that young man gets going. Edwin Williams, a 5'8 senior, gets the pitch, and the rest is all speed and quickness as he cuts to the outside right there. And then he's off to the races, and you mentioned it's finally Tommy Muck repping him out of bounds. What a run.
So 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Biggest play of the game for the Caravan. Now Lynch once again has it, and now he has the pitch to Brown. Brown on the near sideline, trying to turn the corner. He is knocked out of bounds by Chris Fahey and company, but another big carry, another 1st down for the Caravan. So they got the option attack in high gear here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, this is what they do best, no question about it. We saw Williams to the left, now it's Brown here to the right side as he cuts to the outside, and we're seeing the quickness of the Caravan running backs, and Mount Carmel in business. 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line for Mount Carmel. 26 yards on that pickup. So 1st and goal at the 3. Lynch. Straight ahead to Brown. Brown powers his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, Chris Fahey had him at around the 2-yard line, but the strength of Williams, he carried Fahey into the end zone for the touchdown.
So Brown with his 11th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Caravan strike first in the ball game as the defense, credit the defense, a couple 4th down stops.
Yes.
And now the offense got a little spark from that. Marches downfield, a couple big runs, and then Brown finishes from 3 yards out.
Tim Brown over the 1,000-yard mark now, rushing for the season.
Nico Rodriguez, a freshman, on to attempt the extra point for the Caravan. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So 8:59 remaining until halftime, and Mount Carmel strike first. They lead the Hawks of Maine South by the score of 7-0.
Well, you knew it was just a matter of time before this Mount Carmel offense got going, and really, you know, Maine South's offense, they have put some yards on the stat sheet, but not put any points on the board. Here's a big run that led up to the touchdown here. You see Tim Brown cutting it here to the near side, getting shoved out of bounds.
Fahey was the one there, but not until Brown got to the 3, and there's the touchdown mark.
Just up the middle running there, off left tackle, and Brown in for the touchdown to give the Caravan the early lead here, 7-0, with just under 9 minutes to go here in this first half.
So they go 68 yards, 5 plays, a minute 12. So they strike quickly. Eric Spitz on with us here today.
The kicking game is suffering for Mount Carmel. A.J. Nichols is the normal kicker. He's also a backup defensive back, and he got hurt in practice as a defensive back. You've seen Tim Brown has been handling the normal punting duties today, and Nico is now kicking off, and he is doing extra points. Coach Frank Lenti really wanted something short, a short field goal, point after attempt to really get Nico's confidence up today. But quite honestly, anything past Maine South's 40 today, maybe 4 down territory for Mount Carmel.
So Fahey, one of the upmen for Maine South, got the kickoff and returned it past the 35, and they'll have first and 10. Let's see what Maine South did. A lot of people were surprised at week 3. Glenbrook North defeated Maine South. Then we find out later Glenbrook North had an awfully good ball club, and they end up winning that the Central Suburban North, and this is what they've done in the playoffs, opening up with a win against New Trier, then victorious last week against Glenbrook South. Both teams from the Central Suburban South Conference, much like Maine South, which has won that conference the last 7 years. Now Goro, here's the give to Chow, and Chow is brought down after a quick gain, and the tackler that time was Jeremy Johnson, the inside linebacker, who's played a strong first half.
He sure has. He's got about 4 or 5 tackles so far here in this first half. Take another look at it. Chow with a nice job of running the ball here. Boy, listen to that hit. Big pop by Jeremy. Mentioned this Caravan defense. They are quick, fast, and they can stick.
Well, not only do they pursue it and need it, but they also stay their territory as well. Here's out of the shotgun, Goro. With time again. Now some pressure. Goro will run out of bounds. And once again, Johnson was the one that made sure he went out. So another third down coming up here for Maine South.
Anthony Battle was applying the pressure there. Charlie Goro stepping up and getting something out of nothing.
Well, some of the plays Maine South had success with, a little swing pass, doing things quickly before that Caravan could get full speed of steam going defensively. But we'll see what they do here on 3rd and 3, ball at their own 44-yard line.
Joey Orlando not getting involved in this ball game. Let's see if they get it through.
Not yet. Good call. Now out of the shotgun. Goro going long this time for Orlando, and just beyond his reach. You called it, Mark. Going for Orlando downfield, so Maine South will have to punt it away.
Yep. Demetrius Carr was there. Pretty good coverage that time, but Joey Orlando, such an explosive wide receiver. Had 95-yard kickoff return earlier in the season against Waukegan. Take another look at it here.
Just beyond his reach, so they will punt away. Neil McConneville will be doing the punting as Goro now is.
Maine South with some confusion. Last-minute player running in.
Yep. First time they've had a punt here today. They had a fumble, and they've been stopped on 4th down. With a nice punt that time with the win, and they get a good bounce. And it's picked up on the bounce and hemmed in there and brought down is Butler at the 12-yard line. 44-yard on the punt. Here's what Mount Carmel did this year. We talked about that exciting opening game or season win over Joliet Catholic. That miracle finish 20-20. Then they had another tough game against Loyal, a triple overtime, but in the state playoffs here against Leiden and last week against Palatine, the Caravan had just been rolling.
Shutting out Palatine last week, so this defense is certainly doing the job here in the postseason.
Yeah, Palatine did move the ball a few times, and that time the give to Williams and making the tackle for Maine South was Zach Tim. Palatine did move the ball a few times deep into Mount Carmel territory, but the Caravan defensively made the stops when they needed. Let's take another look at it and see Zach Tim in action.
Zach Tim, the big fella right there. Boy, this guy weighs 221 pounders, 6'4". Only a junior.
2nd and 7. Mount Carmel with the ball and the lead, 7-0 over Maine South. Now Lynch on the rollout and the pitch. And the first down and plenty more as Williams got it that time, and he picks up the first down. They're having good success going wide on that option play.
Chris Fahey, the linebacker, had to come across all the way across the field to knock him out of bounds, but he mentioned a good run, good production by Williams. Take another look at it here. Nice job. And Williams gets shoved out of bounds right there. Mount Carmel, of course, their last state title in 02, looking for the 3rd straight year to get to the state title game.
Yeah, they fell short against Prospect, the Prospect Knights 2 years ago. Then, of course, last year falling short against Wheaton Warrenville South in 8A. Wheaton Warrenville South, of course, moving down to 7A. They're still alive in the quarterfinals as well. So 1st and 10. And straight ahead to Brown. Brown spinning his way for another first down. A great run by Brown. And that is what Brown can do for you. And he gets the first down and brought down by Corby Ryan, the nose guard.
Yep, Ryan, the 6'1", 204-pound junior, but not before a good pickup there. The spin move. Boy, we're seeing his true talent come out here in this game.
Pickup of 11 yards. Our stat man extraordinaire today, Mr. Nick Pinto. Keeping an eye on all the names and numbers, yardage. pickups, incompletions, you name it. We have it for you here live on CN100, including a 1st and 10 for Mount Carmel. Again, right up the middle, and it's Nunez, or check that, Williams that time. So the Caravan really doing the job now on the ground here in the second quarter.
Boy, they're really going to that left side. 2 up front. Joe Ramus, offensive lineman for Joliet, or I should say for Mount Carmel, providing the hole.
And Mike Huser, the center.
Yep.
All starts with those guys up front, and it's usually they'll say it's the game will be determined in the trenches. And right now, here in the second quarter, the Caravan are having the edge. And now here's the pitch to Brown, and Brown is knifed down. And what a tackle made by Pat Clark, knifing in to create a 3rd down situation.
Oh, great job by Pat Clark to come in and make the open field tackle on Tim Brown. Tim Brown was going to cut to the inside, but Pat Clark said none of that. Nice open field tackle. Take another look at it here. You see the senior linebacker come in and make the open field hit down low, bringing him down.
I think Brown fell that a little bit too. So 3rd down, a big test for the Maine South defense here. See if they can come up with a stop with Jordan Lynch and company, hoping they can keep this drive going. Now to the air, Lynch, and under some pressure, the pass is incomplete. Maine South brought some pressure that time.
Corby Ryan again with the pressure on Lynch. Boy, he got that off in just in the nick of time.
And Fahey in as well. So they will have to punt it away, and Brown will go back in punt formation, and Benson and Joey Orlando deep for Maine South. You'll see Jordan Lynch really gets smacked as he releases the football. Corby Ryan. So they will have to punt it away.
They've been keeping it away from Orlando and Benson. We'll see.
So kind of a pop-up as they have to go into the wind, and Maine South telling their players to stay away from it.
Finally rest.
Finally.
Yeah, wow.
It will be blown dead, so the Maine South Hawks will have it 1st and 10. That chewed up a few seconds on the clock. Folks, by the way, CN100 concludes coverage of the postseason with semifinal action from the 2007 football state playoffs next week. For exact game information along with air dates and times, visit our website, please, at cn100.tv. That is all coverage for you each and every week, and we wrap it up the football season next week with semifinal action. That's at cn100.tv. Here's Maine South back in the attack. They've moved the football, but they've not been able to get on the scoreboard against this bending but not breaking defense. Now a pass to Orlando. He has time. He has the catch, and he's still on his feet. Orlando, and he steps out at the 43-yard line before he got back in. The official's right there. The official, though, did not whistle him stepping out of bounds right at that time. However, he does bring it back where he stepped out, but big 1st down to Orlando.
Had to be some sort of mix-up in the secondary.
Clearly out of bounds.
Great job by our camera guys to get you that shot.
27 yards.
Yep, Ryan McGlynn had to come from behind and knock him down, but Joey Orlando with the big catch.
Well, they went to Orlando last time, and just a little too long for Joey. This time they went to the other side. Here's the give to Chow. Chow with a hole, and he loses the football. Is recovered again by Kosey. The 2nd time he has recovered the football in the first half. Both fumbles by David Chow.
Oh, a tough break for Maine South. They were moving the ball. The nice catch by Orlando, getting some momentum, and now the 2nd fumble of the afternoon gives the ball back to Mount Carmel. Take another look at it here. Man. There's the hit right there that caused the fumble, and Kosey was there to cover it up for Mount Carmel.
So what a play by that defense once again. Well, Mount Carmel 2 turnovers here in the first half, both fumbles by Maine South. 1st and 10, here's the give straight ahead. Williams with a big gainer all the way up to the 45-yard line. Cottrell making the stop for the Hawks.
Tommy Muck was in there as well, and now the momentum starting to shift over to Mount Carmel after that turnover. Under 4 minutes to go. We'll see if this Hawk defense can keep this Caravan out of the end zone.
And remember, Maine South received the kickoff to start the ball game. So 2nd and 1. Ball at the 45-yard line. Here's Lynch. Straight ahead, 1st down and plenty more for Williams. All the way to the Maine South 46. They stopped the clock, moved the chains. 3:33 remaining here in our first half. They already lead at 7-0. They have 1 timeout remaining.
Chris Fahey was there on the tackle once again, but look at the opening in the room up the middle, Perry. Boy, that's something Maine South is going to have to talk to in the locker room and make an adjustment on that.
Well, remember we talked about they had success going wide on the option, right, and that has now opened up the middle. So 1st and 10 for the Caravan. Here's Brown again. Brown spinning his way. Boy, they're just really opening up some holes, and the running backs are fighting for every yard. Pick up a 5 on the 1st down carry by Timmy Brown.
Tim Brown with another nice run. John Cottrell initially had him, but he spun off of his tackle and picked up a couple more yards down to the 40.
So they're going to say pick up at 6, so it's 2nd and 4 at the 40. Caravan trying to cash in on that turnover. Straight ahead, Williams, 1st down to the 35.
Zach Tim was there with the tackle, but not before a 5-yard pickup. As Mount Carmel continues to run the ball up the middle for positive yardage.
Williams now with 87 yards, and we talked so much about Brown and, of course, the quarterback Lynch, but Williams with a strong first half at 87 yards. So 1st and 10 for the Caravan. Now straight ahead is Williams again, and he almost got by Fahey. Boy, if Fahey doesn't make that tackle, Williams is gone.
He's gone, absolutely. A touchdown-saving tackle by Fahey, and I tell you, Mount Carmel, it's the same thing over and over again, up the middle again.
It's another 1st down all the way to the 24-yard line.
Edwin Williams, a senior. Boy, this guy, hard to bring this kid down.
Led the team with 12 rushing touchdowns. Brown had 10 going into today's game. Brown has scored the lone score of the football game. And here's the give to Brown. Brown still on his feet, and he cuts it into the end zone. Touchdown! No flags. 24 yards out. 2nd score of the ball game and 2nd touchdown for the Caravan, and they're on the board yet again.
Oh, what an outstanding run by Tim Brown. 24 yards. Mount Carmel in this 2nd quarter starting to put things together offensively now.
Both scores here in the 2nd quarter. Maine South has moved the football, but a couple turnovers and a couple big 4th down stops on defense have kept Maine South off the board. Meanwhile, that option offense in high gear for the Caravan. Here's Nico Rodriguez on to attempt the extra point. Snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good by the freshman Rodriguez. So with 1:53 remaining, it's now 14-0 Mount Carmel. Maine South trying to get the ball back, something going. They have all their timeouts remaining here in the first half with under 2 minutes to do something.
Seeing the great running game of Mount Carmel, the 1-2 punch of Tim Brown and Edwin Williams. These two guys complement each other so well, and the running game of Mount Carmel has put them on top here, 14-0. See the touchdown run by Tim Brown. Look at this.
All right, that is clear sailing. The first touchdown was from 3 yards out, this from 24.
Breaks the one tackle there, now cuts to the outside.
And look at the good block there by K.J. Picard, downfield number 11.
24-yard touchdown run by Tim Brown. Maine South crowd a little bit quiet.
After that Maine South fumble, they took the ball 63 yards in 6 plays. Used up only 2:20 on the clock, so both their drives relatively short. First one just over a minute, that just over 2. And it's 14-0 Caravan.
But when you have an offense like Maine Salisbury, down 14 points, nothing to panic about.
No, they can certainly get that passing game in gear. And you have a quarterback, too, like Goro, who can run the football. A little hop there by Rodriguez on the kickoff. And once again, the squib, Fahey again, the linebacker. And he just covers up, and he's brought down at the 32. So that's where Maine South will take over 1st and 10, and you don't want to panic. You have a lot of time to go, but you have some time. You have all timeouts remaining here in the first half. Of course, in high school football, too, they will stop the clock and move the chains after first downs.
Nothing to panic about if you're the Maine South Hawks. Just run your offense, run like you normally do.
They move it to the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for the visitors, we should say, I guess, from Park Ridge and White.
Guess they'll probably run their 2-minute offense, but that's what they normally do.
Yeah, they got 3 receivers spread to the right, 1 down to the left now. Gatziolis in motion. Goro has Benson wide open. Benson still on his feet to the 45-yard line. And he's brought down from behind by Williams, or check that, by Carr. Or Filer rather came back. Boy, the linebacker, but boy, they couldn't keep, he was wide open.
What a move by Benson after the catch.
So 21 yards for number 21 on the reception.
A lot of time yet, a minute 36.
And your Maine South, you don't want to give the ball back too quickly to the Caravan. You want to do 2 things. You want to score, and you want to score without much time left in the clock. So 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line for the Hawks. 1:19 remaining. Orlando in motion. Sprinting to his left, and here's Goro trying to get to the other side. He does, and he is tripped up, but he gets the 1st down, and they'll stop the clock again to move the chains.
Jeremy Johnson wrapping him up around the ankles. You saw the nice decision by Charlie Goro running with the ball. They'll move the chains, stop the clock momentarily, 1:07 to go. A lot of pressure in the beginning by Glenn Foster, the defensive end.
13 yards on that 1st down carry, and we talked about the running capability of Goro, and he can certainly do that as he showed it on that particular play. Inside a minute now. Now looking downfield to Gatziolis. He has Gatziolis for another 1st down. Brought down by Kosi. But the Hawks are moving the ball and moving it effectively inside the 20 all the way down to the 17-yard line. 46 seconds remaining. And the clock will go. They have their timeouts, but not using them.
No need to. Why use them? They're on a roll.
Yeah, they're going to try to keep the Caravan off balance defensively. Now Goro, now in trouble. Looking over the middle, has his pass complete for the touchdown to Craig Hoffman.
What a drive. Unbelievable.
Maine South strikes quickly, and they're in the end zone for the touchdown.
Would that take only about 1 minute and 10 seconds? Maine South is on the board, 14-6. Now, what a great job of orchestrating that drive by Charlie Goro.
They picked up the pace. They ran that 2-minute offense. The other spread offense, it just picked up the pace, and that kind of kept the Caravan off balance defensively, and Goro was just on target.
Perry, that last drive, we just saw the talented wide receivers.
The kick is up, and it is good. So Maine South strikes quickly late in the first half. We said they wanted to do 2 things, score A, and B, not let the Caravan have much time. Only 23 seconds on the clock. Well, let's take another look at the touchdown.
Well, he hit Danny Benson. He hit Jake Gatziolis. Now, how about Craig Hoffman? We got to get the senior into the action. Here it is, touchdown. The big fella crosses the goal line to put the points on the board for Maine South.
Look at Goro surveyed the field.
He was going to run right there, but then he decided to. He saw the open Hoffman for the touchdown. Great decision making by Goro.
Well, they mentioned how well he distributes the football, and he has such a talented group of receivers. And there you see the Maine South passing attack and the high octane, right? On that particular drive, as they march it in, you talk about just over a minute 14 on that drive.
Yeah.
67 yards in just 4 plays.
Wow. Shows you how quick this offense can strike. Just got a little jump start. And I tell you what, we're going to be in for one heck of a second half here at Gately Stadium.
Now watch out for Brown. He returned a kickoff 90 yards last week against Palatine. Also back with him is Brent Butler. And kicking off is Phil Kozak for South. And they keep it on the ground. And it's a live football, and the Caravan will have it as they fight for the ball, but the Caravan covered up at their own 25-yard line. And that's will take over 1st and 10 for quarterback Jordan Lynch. So what a second quarter. We had no score in the first quarter. And then you see what we talked about in the open. It's the Caravan and their option attack striking twice, and the Maine South coming right back with their spread offense passing attack for their touchdown. Lynch. Turns back to his backs. Brown and Williams. And here's the give to Brown, and he is, oh, check that. Lynch has the football. Now he hands off to Williams. A flag is thrown. Edwin Williams, boy, they do such a great job disguising where the ball is. It looked like Brown had it. Lynch came out with it, and they got it to Williams.
You mentioned a flag thrown. Right,
could be behind the back.
Right around the 30-yard line here.
This could be coming back. First penalty of the game, perhaps, against Mount Carmel.
Illegal forward pass. Spot foul. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down.
I was going to say, Williams was right on Lynch's side, and he didn't lateral it.
Well, it's worth a try, because sometimes it's close enough, and we get away with it.
That's right.
So, head coach Frank Lenti and the Caravan resorting to a little trickery, and by that time, it was brought back 5 yards, and now they will finish the first half as the first half comes to an end. What a great, entertaining ball game, Class 8A, and we're glad to have you with us here live on cn100, the Comcast network for Maine South.
Charlie Goro in the first half, 10 of 14 through the air for 132 yards. His favorite receiver, Danny Benson, had a heck of a first half, 8 catches for 55 yards. And on the ground, Edwin Williams for Mount Carmel, 11 carries, 97 yards in that first half.
Butler going deep, and Brown to receive the second half kickoff from Maine South, as Neil McConneville will tee it up. Or check that, it's Phil Kozak kicking off for Maine South.
Maine South had those 2 fumbles in that first half. Only 1 penalty. Mount Carmel with only 2 penalties in the first half.
Turf picked up by Brown. Brown with some running room, and finally he is bumped out of bounds, but Brown, who returned the second half kickoff 90 yards last week for a touchdown against Palatine, has a strong return here to start the second half. And this is what Mount Carmel did in the Chicago Catholic Blue Conference. And obviously, every team from there, Mark, made the state playoffs. And in fact, Providence is still alive.
Yeah, what a great conference, to say the least. Every team from that conference making the playoffs. Of course, Brother Rice got knocked out last night by Homewood Flossmoor. We touched about that at halftime.
St. Rita falling, but Providence still alive, and Mount Carmel with the lead and a nice return, or the second half, and straight ahead the gift to Brown up the middle. As Fahey brought him down again.
Chris Fahey is having a solid game, the captain.
Mike Neal as well.
Yep, Mike Nelly was in there as well for the Maine South Hawks. Going to be interesting to see how they come out defensively against this Caravan offense.
You heard Coach Sarah said they got to change some of their angles and gaps. Coach Sarah took over in the 2001 season after they won the state championship in 2000. Coach Hopkins retiring after that state title in 2000. And Coach Sarah's gotten the team to the championship game 4 times, just falling a bit short. Some thrilling overtime losses, but tough for him. Now, Lynch in trouble, but is able to turn it to positive yards as Corby Ryan finally brings him down, but a 3rd and short coming up, 3rd and 2 at the Maine South 47.
Yeah, really should have been about 3rd and 6, but Jordan Lynch did a great job of getting out of traffic. Look at this. Stepped up, ran into his own blocker, and got about 3 or 4 more yards to make it about 3rd down and about 2 yards to go.
Well, you heard also Coach Sarah said, you can run the scout team and practice against the option, but that's the scout team.
Yeah,
this is the real deal here, the Caravan of Mount Carmel. And they lead at 3rd and 2. And straight ahead by that time, charging on in is Ryan
again.
Company.
Yeah, boy, Corby Ryan, a couple of big defensive plays to stop. But 4th down here, looks like Mount Carmel's going to go for it. It's going to be inches to go.
It's 4th and short. 4th and 1. And here comes Jordan Lynch. Third quarter, the fans on their feet at Gately.
Both sides of the field on their feet.
So 4th and 1. Maine South has to be careful not to jump offside.
Huge play right
Here's
here.
Lynch. And Lynch. And a flag is thrown.
Well, I saw some movement on the right side of Mount Carmel's offensive line.
And this could change that strategy.
Prior to the snap, false start. Mount Carmel.
So they go from 4th
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
to 4th and 6, and here comes the punting unit.
Big penalty.
Huge penalty. So that will back them up on their own 49, and Benson and Orlando going deep for Maine South to receive the punt to Brown.
Maine South will get the ball back here. We'll see how they do.
What a stop by Ryan on that 3rd down.
Huge.
So Orlando and Benson deep, standing inside their 20-yard line. Light breeze. Not too much of a factor here today. Pretty nice day. And here's
fair catch by Benson, and thought better.
And it goes into the end zone.
Yeah.
And a flag. They get the flag.
Wow. Well,
he gave the signal that went over his head
for the fair catch, and it went over his head. Now, once he signals for the fair catch, you can't. Can you or can you not hit the man who calls for the fair catch?
And we'll wait. They're talking to Mount Carmel. With the officials, and they've done a great job. Jim Gleekert, our referee here today, and Steve Terinsky, the umpire, line judge, George Casper, John Jacosi, the back judge, and Ken Kessler, your linesman here today.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
Yep.
This is an interesting call.
Yeah, they're kind of discussing which is the right thing to do.
Right. Well, why not pick it up 1st and 10 at the 20?
Yeah, they may end up doing that. Let's take another look at it.
Now, Benson will call for the fair catch right there.
It's not a real definite fair catch.
Exactly. He didn't get his arm above his helmet.
It's almost like he was almost trying to some mini fair catch signal, but now here's the call.
After giving a fair catch signal, the receiver blocked, which is illegal. We have a penalty on Maine South. Half the distance to the goal. It'll be their ball, 1st down.
Okay, that's what I was getting at, Perry. He called for the fair catch, and then there was
blocked the
contact.
defender.
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen that, though, where they that call, the fair catch, then the block. But nevertheless, it's called here today, and it will back Maine South up all the way to their 5-yard line.
My. Instead of 1st and 10 at their own 20, 1st and 10 at their own 5. Boy, this is tough.
So what they were doing was that with the defender, and it was going over his head, of course, he didn't want the defender to be able to down it inside the 10 or the 5. He was hoping to go into the end zone, but he had the block.
Right.
And now they're getting the clarification to the other side. I don't think I've seen that call before, but nevertheless. I don't know if it didn't look like a pure block either. It kind of ducked a little bit, and the guy went up and over, but nevertheless, when all is said and done, it will be 1st and 5, or 1st and 10 for Maine South at their 5. And their quarterback, Charlie Goro, comes in from the bench with the play.
See if they pick up where they left off at the end of that 1st half, huh?
And one thing they want to do is make sure they don't cough up the football here deep in their territory, and now a flag is thrown.
Side judge throwing the flag.
And now Maine
Prior to the snap, dead ball foul, encroach defense.
That was an encroachment call, so gives them a little breathing room. 1st and 5. And moves it just beyond the 10-yard line. Not many penalties here so far this afternoon.
No, the 1st half, Mount Carmel only had 2, Maine South only
one.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was after a block in the back after a long catch and run. And a little play action. Goro now, and he's covered up there as he saw Filer coming in. And among others, big number 44, that linebacker going to Notre Dame.
Kyler Kopak was also there. Boy, there was an opening there, but it closed up in a hurry.
It sure did.
Kopech and Steve Filer, as you mentioned, were there to stop up the hole.
So second and short now, second and 2 at the 14-yard line for the Maine South Hawks. Early here in the third quarter, first time they've had the football here in the second half.
Good example right there of the quickness of this defensive unit. You see a hole and it gets shuts down in a hurry.
They are so quick.
Yes.
Saw them shift right there. Now here's the pitch to Chow. Chow fighting for that first down, and it looks like he has it. And coming on in to make the stop is Kapchak, and Brett, the big junior. But I think Chow that time has the first down, and he does.
You see the end of the play there. You see the big guy there, Kapchak, 6'1", 200-pound junior, bringing him down. But David Chow certainly can be a workhorse. We mentioned 31 carries in last week's victory.
Now we'd like to atone for some of the miscues in the first half. So coming on the 8-minute mark here in the third quarter. And here's the play action to Chow, and over to Gatziolis, wide open, and Gatziolis at the 32-yard line, where he is finally brought down, but another first down, and Goro, so impressive, 16 yards on that pass completion.
Gatziolis wide open, the 6'2 senior. You mentioned 16-yard reception and a first down. You see him right there, the tail end.
Demetrius Carr making this tackle for Mount Carmel.
So Maine South looking pretty good offensively here to start the second half.
Well, they got some breathing room. They were pinned back to the 5, and penalty moved it out to the 10, and now they moved it up to the 32. In motion is Benson. Now Goro sprint out, and that time underthrew Benson at the 37-yard line. It's a little bit low. So second and 10 coming up at the 32.
He was open, just underthrew him just a little bit.
I don't see Goro do that too often, but throwing on the run is not the easiest thing to do, and he does it normally pretty well. So second and 10.
We mentioned in the first half, this offensive line has done a nice job in Maine South of giving Goro some time to throw the ball. There were a couple times when the Caravan brought the pressure on him, but for the most part, the offensive line has done a nice job for the Hawks.
Now Benson again in motion. And now another flag is probably some movement away for the official call.
A lot of penalties here early going.
To start this third.
Prior to the snap, dead ball foul. False start.
Okay, false
Maine
start.
South.
Well, it's amazing the way Maine South has people moving all the time. It doesn't happen more often.
Right.
Let's take another look at top of your screen. You'll see a little motion for it. There it is.
Yep.
Yeah, good call. So for a second and 15, back to the 27-yard line.
Maine South moving into the wind, about 7 to 10 miles an hour.
Now out of the shotgun is the junior quarterback Charlie Goro. He's been so solid here this afternoon. Now here comes the blitz, and they get it over. The ball is tipped, and it's intercepted.
Demetrius Carr.
Demetrius Carr, the third turnover of the ball game, the first interception, and they brought the pressure on in.
Glenn Foster.
And also Kapchak.
Yeah, wow.
And then the ball was tipped in the old tip drill.
Right.
And Demetrius Carr, we've called his name a lot, number 24, gets the interception at the Maine South 28.
Boy, Perry, just as I mentioned, the offensive line doing a nice job. There you see the pressure.
Yeah, this also was tipped by Mike Sawyer.
Yeah.
So here's Lynch now. Big turnover. Lynch on the keeper. Here's Brown. Brown is tripped up on a loose football, and it's picked up by Maine South and Fahey. Wow. So the first turnover of the ball game for the Caravan, and Maine South gets it right back.
And Brown is getting up awful slow, but now he's all right. But, wow. Mount Carmel, first play of scrimmage after the turnover, giving the ball right back to Maine South.
So we're back where we started just 30 seconds ago.
Exactly.
Take another look at it, and here's Brown on the option.
Now there it is, a lot of open space. Who comes in to make the hit right there?
It looks like it's DeVito.
Yeah, Frank DeVito, 6-foot senior corner, came up and knocked it loose.
And then Fahey, the linebacker, in pursuit, got the fumble, it looked like, number 54. So back at the 28-yard line where we were moments ago, but Maine South has it again. Sprinting out, more pressure. Here's Goro. Has the pass complete to Benson at the 39-yard line for the first down. So the Caravan bringing a little more pressure now defensively, as once again defensively on the stop coming up is Keith Nunez.
Yeah, Keith Nunez is right there, boy.
Yep.
But just a great throw by Goro. Benson with a nice reception. Yeah, you really can't ask for better coverage there by Nunez.
Benson is the all-time leading receiver at Maine South, and there have been some good ones. And Orlando is one of those. He's a junior, and he might threaten that record next year. But this is this year, and Maine South trying to get something going again.
11-yard reception.
Now here's Goro, and he's going long, and the pass is incomplete. They wave the receiver out of bounds.
Now Nunez was there on the coverage once again. It was Craig Hoffman, the tight end. Look at this guy. Look at the pass though, and the touch by Goro, even though he's out of bounds.
Great improvisation, and also by Hoffman. He almost got the feet down.
Wow!
Look at that.
Catch.
He did get the foot
down.
He did get the foot down.
Wow.
But it will be incomplete, ruled on the field.
Great camera work.
But what an nice improvisational effort by Hoffman and Goro.
Exactly. Wow. Remember that play. They're going to go back to it.
2nd and 10 at the 39. Goro. Straight drop. Here comes the pressure. And he will go down. Sacked for the first time this afternoon. As coming on in is Glenn Foster, the big senior defensive lineman.
Glenn Foster, oral commitment to Illinois.
So Foster and coming. Look at that penetration defensively by the Caravan.
Glenn Foster, who didn't make the team his freshman year. He came out for a wide receiver as a sophomore. Coach Lenny told him that he couldn't catch a cold in flu season. Worked hard at it.
A loss of 12. So now 3rd and 22, all the way back to the 27. We're kind of living around this 28, 27-yard line of Maine South in the last few minutes. Goro now sprinting. In trouble, gets away from Filer, downfield, and he throws it away.
Boy, Mount Carmel starting to apply the pressure now.
They're bringing everybody.
They sure are. Great adjustment defensively by the Caravan. 4th down, the Hawks going to have to punt now.
One of the rare punts by Maine South here today, but they trail 14-7 here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they didn't really do a lot of blitzing. They didn't really come in with the linebackers in that first half, but now halfway through this 3rd quarter, they're starting to bring them. Brett Butler is back for the Caravan.
And number 15. And good pressure. And it goes out of bounds, and let's see where they mark it, close to midfield. They certainly got the pressure on. And while the Caravan come back on the field offensively, we have this trivia question for you in our quarterfinal game. Besides Frank Lenti, who is the only other Mount Carmel football coach to win an IHSA state title? The answer coming up later. So ponder that, Mark Kruger.
Interesting.
So a short punt that time, and good field position right at midfield for Jordan Lynch and Mount Carmel. Here's the quick opener to Williams. Williams still on his feet. Edwin Williams brought down by Muck.
Wow, unbelievable run by Williams.
He kept going, and then Karish and Muck finally were able to bring him down. But what a gain by Williams.
Boy, where's number 34, reminiscent of one Earl Campbell. Remember how he used to run for the Houston Oilers back in the day? How he just dragged people with him? Same type of runner, Edwin Williams.
23 yards. Also, sweetness, Walter.
Absolutely.
A little more high-stepping, but
right.
1st and 10 at the 27. The Caravan driving again. They lead at 14-7. And now Jordan Lynch, and on the keeper, keeps it himself, and he still is fighting for the first down mark for a stop shy of it. And finally, he is taken down by Nelly, but not before he gets big yardage on that carry. One of the few times he has kept the football himself.
Jordan Lynch, you talk to Coach Lente, and he just admires this young man. What a great job he does of running the option, keeping it himself. He will very rarely make a mistake. Did a nice job of keeping it that time and getting some good yardage.
In fact, he does have enough for the first time. They moved the change at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Caravan. Third quarter. And now around the other way to Butler. The receiver trying to get a block. Butler has the angle. Touchdown! They go with the receiver reverse, and Butler scores a touchdown for Mount Carmel.
Great block by the receiver to give Butler the room to score.
Boy, that young man has to feel good. Remember the first half, he had a couple passes that just around him, just couldn't pull it in.
Right.
But now he has it on the ground, and he scores the touchdown. And Rodriguez in to attempt the extra point for the third time today. Great call and great execution by the Caravan.
Boy, that was a huge, huge touchdown by Butler. Now it's a 2-score differential. 2-touchdown differential here. Maine South, chance to tie the ball game up. They were driving.
Prior to the snap, dead ball. Delay of the game.
They don't want
Carmel. Still 1 on time down.
Okay, they'll move him back. And you have that freshman kicker. Let's see what transpires here. If it has any effect at all, they march it back, and he'll tee it up at the 15-yard line now. Go Rodriguez. And here's Rodriguez. The kick is up. End over end. It is perfect by the young freshman. And Mount Carmel leads it 21-7 with 3:46 remaining in our third quarter. More high school football for you tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock here on cn100, as we will have the coverage of the Wheaton-Warrenville South Morgan Park game. This time end over end with the win into the end zone. Out to the 20-yard line. They've been putting it on the ground, but that time with the win all the way into the end zone, out to the 20 it will come.
Mentioned Wheaton-Warrenville South, a great come from behind last week against St. Rita at Red Grange Field. Mike Piekowski and company.
And we are at Gately Stadium. In fact, that game is tonight. We are live here this afternoon for this 8A, and now Wheaton-Warrenville South, which knocked off Mount Carmel in 8A last year in the championship game, moved down to 7A, and they will take on Morgan Park here tonight. And we'll have that game in its entirety for you tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, exclusively here on CN100. Now Goro, the quick fire, and it's Gatziolis. Gatziolis brought down by Filer after a nice gain on first down. Also coming on in to help out is Stanford.
After the catch, made a nice move on Victor Alvarez to pick up a couple more yards. And that's what, that's what Maine South has to do. That's their offense. That little, that West Coast type of offense. No need to hurry. No need to get the big play right now. Do what you do best. They rarely go and have those long fly patterns of 30, 40 yards. It's 15 yards here, then maybe after a run they can get some good field blocking and press something big. Now Goro in trouble again. He goes down again. As Glenn Foster made the sack, and boy, they are really putting the pressure now on Goro. Second sack here in the third quarter. Sean Miller also was in on the stop. Take another look at it here as Foster and Miller combining on the tackle there, and it looked like Miller is holding his right hamstring there. May have had a little bit of a leg injury as he comes off the field. 3rd and 8 for Maine South, and they want to try to respond to that Mount Carmel touchdown. Put wide, 3 receivers wide to the right. Here they come again. And Filer's coming on in again. Boy, Filer. Goro has the pass, and it is incomplete. As Kosey was there again, and now a flag is thrown. It looks like it'll be a roughing the passer penalty. Well, we mentioned Steve Filer coming in on the blitz, right up the middle, applying the pressure. And that would be a big break for Maine South. Give them a first down.
Another one of those small.
Roughing the passer defense. That's an automatic first down.
Wow, big penalty.
That's the type of penalty. It doesn't seem to happen on first or second down. It seems to always happen on third down. Oh, here's Goro. He was in trouble.
See him rolling out to his right. We're going to see him throwing the ball here. I don't believe we're going to see the actual hit. But nevertheless, the penalty gives Maine South the first down in new life.
So 1st and 10 at the 37. Fresh set of downs. Now downfield and coming back for it and making a sensational grab is Benson to get his feet down at midfield and go out of bounds.
Unbelievable job of getting his feet in bounds. 13-yard reception, enough for a first down. Look at this. What a great job of keeping that left foot in bounds, dragging it in.
The official right there at midfield. 2:07 remaining, third quarter. It's 21-7. Mount Carmel leading Maine South. The Hawks driving now at midfield after getting a penalty. First down picked up via the penalty. And now then that big first down pass completion. Goro with time, plenty of time, going long for Benson and overshoots him at the 27.
Yeah, just a little bit overthrown. Byron Stanford, number 33, was the coverage man there for the Caravan.
So 2nd and 10 at midfield.
Pretty good idea that time.
Yep. Mount Carmel doing a nice job that time with, they've kind of changed up their defenses. Sometimes they bring a lot of pressure, other times not. Goro, 3 of 21 so far here this afternoon. 1 touchdown and 1 interception, deflection. 13 of 21, check that, and complete again to Hoffman.
Yeah, he's going to be
he's shy of the first down.
Right, by about a foot.
Yep. Now, Maine South has moved the ball at times here today, and sometimes you've had trouble on the short yardage thing, but
boy, great job by Craig Hoffman of evading the tackle of Victor Alvarez, just coming up a little bit short. The diving effort, about a foot short.
So 3rd and 1. The ball resting at the 41-yard line. And Goro out of the shotgun again. See if he gets the chow or they go another direction with it. He goes to the air again, going long again for Orlando. Has the pass completion inside the 20 to the 17. On 3rd and short and brought down by Alvarez, but Joey Orlando, and here come the Hawks again.
What a catch. An unbelievable catch by Joey Orlando. Great coverage there by Alvarez. He's all over him. Turns his body, coming down with it. Joey Orlando.
1:07 remaining here in the third quarter.
No relation, by the way, to Tony Orlando of Tony Orlando and Dawn fame. Of course, I know you have a couple of CDs.
Yes, I do. I have them all tied up with a yellow ribbon, as a matter of fact. Okay. 1st and 10 now at the 17. Goro in trouble. In trouble again, and he throws it away, incomplete. Intended for Gatziolis.
Oh, Jeremy Johnson. We've been announcing his name all game long, breathing down the neck of Goro.
He is quick, number 43.
Man.
We talked about how they brought some pressure here in the third quarter. There's a prime example. And Goro was able to get rid of it, and Gatziolis tried to make the catch. So 2nd and 10 at the 17.
Got to think Danny Benson, number 21, is going to be in on this play.
Gatziolis, Orlando, and Benson to the right. Hoffman to the left. He scored the touchdown for Maine South. To the air, rolling right. Over the middle, here's Benson. He makes the catch, trying to stay on his feet, and he's brought down around that first down marker with less than a minute remaining here in the first half. And they are just shy of the first down. Let's take a look at it.
Demetrius Carr coming up a little bit slowly. Here's another look at it. We mentioned Benson. We saw him do this in the first half. Well, put his hand down, keep his feet, and get a couple more yards.
Now Benson's 5'8". No, great size, but boy, they quick. The receivers for Maine South. Gatziolis to the left.
Oh, how big is this, Barry?
3rd and short. 3rd and 1. And straight ahead is Chow. Chow gets the first down at the 5-yard line.
forward progress. Yeah, he's going to.
Yeah, he's got the first down, so it'll be first and goal to go for Maine South. As the clock is winding down, it's at the 5-yard line. And the little Mount Carmel player is shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to stop.
It looks like Anthony Battle, and he will come off under his own power, so that's a good sign.
Hey, by the way, Perry, while we got a chance here, I'd like to pass along birthday wishes to a young lady watching this afternoon's game in Oak Park. Our producer director Andy Zielkowski's niece, little Chloe Com, is celebrating birthday #1 this afternoon. So happy birthday, Chloe.
Well, as Chloe is celebrating her birthday, watching live coverage of high school playoff football here on CN100. We wish her happy birthday as Maine South will let the clock run down, and they will have the ball first and goal to go at the 5-yard line at the other end of the field. As we are through 3 quarters of play here in our Class 8A state quarterfinal game live from Gately Stadium. Mount Carmel leads Maine South, but the Hawks are on the move to start the 4th quarter.
You're watching the Comcast Network, CN100, Chicago.
With Comcast's 100% pure digital voice, internet, and cable TV network, enjoy the convenience of one provider for all your entertainment and communication needs. Experience Comcast's superior services firsthand at the Woodfield or Fox Valley malls. Test the amazing speeds of Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost for yourself and find out more about services included free with your subscription. Stop by our Woodfield and Fox Valley Mall locations today and get a special offer on service when you sign up at either location.
Welcome back, everybody, as we are live here at Gately Stadium on the south side of Chicago for the IHSA Class 8A state quarterfinal game between Maine South and Mount Carmel. There's the Caravan. They lead it 21-7 to start the 4th quarter. Maine South threatening first and goal at the 5. I am Perry Williams, joined by Mark Kruger and our stat man extraordinaire, Mr. Nick Pinto, upstairs in the booth. Eric Schmidt on the sideline, our producer and director today, Andy Zielkowski, and our entire CN100 Comcast team has been busy all day, and they're also looking forward to the game this evening between Wheaton-Morganville South and Morgan Park. But here, and that game you'll see in its entirety tomorrow afternoon at 1 right here on CN100, the Comcast Network. So Maine South comes out trailing by 14, but they have first and goal at the 5. They're led by a brilliant junior quarterback, Charlie Goro, trying to pass his team back into contention here. So first and goal. The long setback is David Chow. Hoffman's foot wide to the right. Play action to Chow. Rolling is Benson. Benson throws it high for Hoffman and incomplete in the far corner of the end zone.
Well, Hoffman stands 6'3". He was well covered, and Goro did a nice job of placing the ball only where Hoffman could jump up, and went through his fingertips. Tough ball to bring down and just bring up 2nd down.
2nd and goal at the 5. Huge sequence, obviously, here for Maine South. So 2nd and 5, here comes Goro. They've gone almost entirely to a passing attack, with the exception of the times Goro himself has run the football.
Obviously, a lot of options. Hoffman again is split out to the right.
Although Chow is certainly capable of running the football. Now play action again. The quick pass to Hoffman. Hoffman! Touchdown, Maine South. 2nd touchdown pass combination between Goro and Hoffman here this afternoon. Maine South right back in it. Just 13 seconds gone in the 4th quarter.
Boy, it almost seems like Maine South has to be down 2 touchdowns in order to get their offense regenerated or kick-started. They were down 14 in the first half, came back and scored. They were down 2 touchdowns here, coming back now they're within 1. 1 touchdown, that is, if they make the extra point here.
Yeah, here's Orlando with Goro, the holder, on to attempt the extra point. Left-footed kicker. Snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 11:47 remaining here in regulation time, it's now Mount Carmel 21 and Maine South 14.
Wow. big build up to this game, a lot of high expectations, and it's lived up to it and then some, Perry. What a game.
Well, let's take another look at the touchdown, and he just had the quick pass to the sidelines by Hoffman, a one-on-one coverage, and is able to slide past the defensive back, Munoz, and go into the end zone. Let's take another look at it.
Well, you see right after the catch, right there, he breaks the tackle, and right after that, he is in. Kochi coming over just a little too late.
So there you see what happened on the scoring drive. They've been all very quick ones here by both teams this afternoon. None longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, less than 3, except for that one. But it was quick. And now Maine South will have the win at their back.
Right. So Mount Carmel will be going into that win, yeah.
But they scored their 2 touchdowns in the first half, in the second quarter, going into the win on the option attack.
Yeah, Mount Carmel not really going to throw the ball, so yeah, not going to be a factor.
Butler and Brown deep. Brown had a nice return of the second half kickoff, and he will let that go over his head in the end zone. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Caravan.
Well, we'll see what this Maine South Hawk defense can do here now. Pressure's on here. Start of this fourth quarter, down 7, need a stop.
Now the winner of this game will take on the winner of the Friend-Glenbard North game tonight. The Vikings unbeaten on the season. The Vikings are Friend, and Glenbard North, big surprise.
Yes.
They're at home tonight too.
7-4 Panthers, the number 14th seed against unbeaten Friend.
So here's Jordan Lynch, and here's the give forward to Williams. The interior part of the line picks up a few on the first down carry. And making the stop is Corby Ryan. Boy, has he played a ball game here defensively for Maine South.
He really has. And
so quick.
You know, if you're Mount Carmel, this is exactly what you want to do. You're going to hand the ball off to Edwin Williams. You're going to hand the ball off to Tim Brown. You're going to try to grind the clock down, pick up the yardage, move the chains. That's Mount Carmel football.
Now they'll take their time. The ball at the 24-yard line to pick up a 6 on that first down carry by Williams. And now on the option is Lynch. Lynch avoids 1 tackle, cannot get by the second man as Cottrell makes the stop again. So 3rd and short, another big 3rd down play coming up.
Yeah, John with the tackle around the ankles, but not before Jordan Lynch. You see him dive forward. 3rd and short now for the Caravan.
They got by Pat Clark, and Cottrell was there to make the stop. So 3rd and 1 at the 29. On their feet again. Jordan Lynch, the junior quarterback for Mount Carmel. And a little pitch again, and getting the first down on the dive is Brown.
Boy, here in that one.
Yeah.
Got upended here. Take another look at it here. They fake it, and they pitch it up to Brown.
Cottrell with a nice hit there, but Brown able to sky over the 30-yard line and pick up the first down. So fresh set of downs for the Caravan.
Didn't get it by much, but
nope,
definitely got the first down.
He needed a yard, he got 2.
That's right.
Now run some clock. 10 minutes remaining here, regulation time. The Caravan, the ball on the lead by 7. And here's the give to Butler. Butler still on his feet. A flag is thrown. And preliminary signals holding against Mount Carmel, so this is coming back.
Yeah, 11-yard run by Brent Butler. It was a nice run, but it's going to be brought back.
He scored the last Mount Carmel touchdown.
Holding. On the offense, still first down.
So they'll move it back. So that negates that nice effort by Butler and moves it back. All the way back to the 21. So it'll be 1st and 20. Boy, what an atmosphere for playoff football here at Gately Stadium, live on cn100. Here's this give to the second man through Brown. Brown still on his feet. He's at the 40, he's at the 45, still going to the 47-yard line. Finally taken down there by DeVito and Nick Catino.
28-yard pickup by Tim Brown after the penalty. Whoa, this is huge. Look at it. It looked like he was stopped right there, but breaks a couple of tackles. Then he's just...
And look at him carry.
Exactly. Carries a couple of Maine South defenders with him. Gain of 28.
All the way up to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Caravan.
All right, Tim Brown coming up big.
He has scored 2 touchdowns today. Gets the ball again, that time short yardage, but into Maine South territory, just past midfield. 2nd and long coming up.
Just under 9 minutes to go. Of course, for Maine South, trying to get that turnover, trying to create a fumble, trying to make something happen defensively.
Make a stop and get the ball back.
Right.
You got the wind down your back, and you got that explosive offense, but defense got to come up with a turnover or a stop on downs. Ball resting just inside Maine South territory. Here's again the second man through again. And big stop made there by Zach Tim.
Oh, Zach Tim, huge, along with Pat Clark there, bringing him down. But it was the big fella, Zach Tim, 6'4" junior. Look at that stop. His shoulders straight on, making the tackle.
They've done a better job here in the second half on those gaps that Coach and Sarah talked about at halftime. They're 2 of 7 on 3rd down opportunities, and now we have 3rd and 8 coming up at midfield.
It's that A gap, that gap right in the middle that was open, and that was shut. It's shut. Maine South defense starting to shut that down, that A gap. Big 3rd down and 8 here.
At midfield, Lynch play action to throw. Now with some running room, Lynch fighting for the 1st down. He's got it.
Oh man!
He has the 1st down.
Nick Catino had him wrapped up, and he had him wrapped up high, Perry. He had him wrapped up high. And Jordan Lynch carried the ball and the defender with him for the 1st down. Oh my, look at this. See the drop, you see Lynch come up. He knows where the 1st down is. And there you see, oh, right there, Catino had him wrapped up high. And Lynch, after that initial contact, got about 5 more yards in the 1st down.
Yeah, it looked like he trying to come out with the ball, but the roll already down. So fresh set of downs at the 40. Big 3rd down pickup.
What a game.
Straight ahead now, Williams, that time as Tim. Boy, they got to try to get away from Zach Tim. He is just a one-man wrecking crew defensively for Maine South.
Edwin Williams, the ball carrier there once again as they keep rotating back and forth between Williams and Brown. Zach Tim has had a heck of a game defensively along with Chris Fahey, Pat Clark.
Well, we're great to have you with us watching live here on CN100, the Comcast Network. High school football, and there isn't much better scene you can find anywhere. And now Lynch stumbles, and we have another big 3rd down territory covered up there defensively by Pat Clark.
Yeah, as he tried to cut to the outside, you mentioned lost his footing just a little bit. Pat Clark covered him up. Take another look at it right here. Tried to cut it up, slipped perhaps, and Pat Clark made sure that he didn't go any further.
Well, depending what happens on 3rd down, it could be 2 down territory if they get close enough to the 1st down marker.
Perry, that clock winding down as we approach the 6-minute mark.
They've converted the last 2 3rd downs. And here's the give to Butler again. Butler, and that time Fahey has him wrapped up short of the 1st down marker, so 4th down. And now Maine South says they have the football. They got it.
Wow.
A fumble, and it's DeVito who has it.
Well, that's the turnover we were talking about. See if Maine South can capitalize on it. Wow, we saw this play earlier in the 1st half. Butler on the end around, and what a great job by the Hawk defense.
He was stopped by Fahey, and somewhere in the tackle and all those players there, the ball squirted out.
Right there is Fahey stopped. Now, right around there is where it got loose.
It looks like DeVito stripped it right out of his hand.
Right. Frank DeVito, number 10. Wow. So now it's up to Goro. What a finish here. Well, now we've got a whistle.
Yep. Now a whistle at Maine South back on the field offensively. Oh, this is going to go down. We knew this would be a close one.
Prior to the snap, dead ball. False start.
Yeah.
Maine South, still first down.
Not the way you want to start a drive with 5:57 remaining, and but you do have the wind at your back, but you trail by 7. Two of the big names in Illinois in high school football. Mount Carmel, 10 state championships. Maine South won a couple. And here's Goro. Goro on the keeper. And he gets past the 40 up to the 41-yard line. Kept in bounds.
Keith Nunez there looks like it tripped them up, and a little shaken up there on the far side. But this was Goro all the way. You see the quarterback keeper there, and look at him put his shoulder down. Big hit by Nunez.
But Goro pops right back up.
Oh, he ain't coming out of this game.
Pick up a 12, so 2nd and 3 at the 41. 5:18 remaining.
Yep.
Now out of the shotgun. Looking to his sideline. And now here's to get the Chow. And now 3rd and short coming up.
Tripped up by Sean Miller, it looked like. After a gain of a couple. So this is, boy, another 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3. And Maine South trailing with the 3rd and 3. They're 3 of 8 on 3rd down conversions here this afternoon.
Boy, if you're Maine South, you almost have to look to your bread and butter guy, number 21, Danny Benson. We'd be calling his number all game long.
Everyone is bunched in there for the Caravan defensively. And here's the fake to Benson. Benson on the end around. On the reverse, first down, plenty more. And Benson takes it inside the 40. And finally brought down from behind by Glenn Foster. But what a call by Coach Insira and Bliss on the Maine South sideline.
Charlie Bliss goes deep into the offensive playbook. Look at the reverse. We mentioned Danny Benson. Look at 64 Anthony Chavez leading the way with the blocking up front for Benson. A huge first down for Maine South. Wow.
All the way to the Mount Carmel 36-yard line. Here come the Hawks again. They scored early in the 4th quarter. They're down now only by 7.
Perry, that's a Game Buster 5 candidate.
We shall see. Here's the give to Chow. Chow turns it upfield, holds on to the football. Good yardage on the first down carry by Chow, but once again, Foster making the stop. But when you have your defensive lineman making tackles downfield, that is not such a good thing.
Foster, again, we've been calling his number a lot. But look at the cutback there by Chow. Man, Mount Carmel trying to strip the ball back.
And they were successful in the first half a couple of times. And there you see the fans going nuts on the Maine South sideline. Hate to see what happens if they score again here. Here's the delay to Chow. Chow gets the first down inside the 25 down to the 23.
Well, again, it's that number 93 Foster again bringing him down with a tackle. But Perry, can you imagine that? Now, interesting, since he fell down
after that run,
yet he has not passed the ball. Interesting. Keep that in mind. But not to overlook and look into the future, but if Maine South would score, Perry, do you go for the 1 or the 2?
Yeah.
That's why we're
up here.
That's right.
Now we have 3 minutes and counting here.
Unbelievable game.
So here's Goro now out of the shotgun. And let's see if he goes back to the air this time.
No,
he hands it off to Chow. And Chow is brought down immediately by Foster.
Wow.
Boy, Foster in the last, 4 straight plays made the tackle.
Those two, Chow and Foster, know each other pretty well.
Basis.
Yeah, really. But interesting, though, Goro has not thrown since that collision. There you see him. Is it just me, or does it look like he's kind of favoring that right arm a little bit?
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see. Now we have 2:14. Maine South with all their timeouts left. Now, a little pass to Chow. Chow is down at the 15-yard line as He is brought down from behind the little screen pass they set up. Let's take another look at it, Mark.
Under 2 minutes to go. Yeah, you see the screen. There's Chow. Got some blocking in front of him. Brought down
by Kapchak.
Yeah, Brett Kapchak, the junior, bringing him down. See Goro come in with the play from Charlie Bliss, the defensive coordinator.
3rd and 2 at the 15. We have 1:35 left on the clock. 3rd down for Maine South. Now under center. Here's to get the Chow right up the middle, fighting for yardage, nowhere to go. We have 4th down coming up. He's a yard short of the 1st down. Now Maine South is going to have to take a timeout.
Foster, Filer, Miller, all of them were in on the tackle there, and it was Chow right up the middle.
Now they take the timeout.
Minute 6 remaining.
Okay, we had that trivia question earlier in the 2nd half. Besides Frank Lenti, who is the only other Mount Carmel football coach win an IHSA title? And coach. And there you see it. And Mark, that coach we were talking about is Bill Bars. The Class 5A title, 15-10 over Hinsdale South. Head coach Lenti took over the program in '84 and has won the other 9 state titles. So 4th down, the season on the line for Maine South. They are 1 for 3 on 4th downs here in the ball game.
By the way, we'd like to give special thanks to some people who have helped our live coverage come together this week. Mike Dagler and Jim Civic with Mount Carmel. And from Gately Stadium and Chicago Public Schools, our friends Calvin Davis, Mickey Pruitt, Clarence Notreat, and Alan Simmons.
This is Goro on the option, and he had a huge carry, but watch him landing on that right shoulder and arm.
Right. And since then, they ran like 6 or 7 plays of just rushing the ball, which obviously is not what Maine South usually does. And then the one pass he had to Chow was just that little short screen pass. So his arm is definitely bothering him.
So the season on the line for Maine South, 106. They're down by 7. It is 4th and the short 2. In motion is Benson. They fake to Benson and Goro on the keeper.
Oh boy, I don't know. It's going to be
awfully close. Let's see where they mark it.
Inside fake handoff and just a sprint to the left by Goro, and he is down and he is hurting. It's been a gutsy performance by the junior quarterback Charlie Goro here in the 2nd half. And he is still down, Perry.
Yep. Let's take another look at it on the replay. And Goro, what a gutsy performer this young junior is.
Just a straight sprint. He knew he was going to get hit. He knew he was going to get hit hard. Knew where the 1st down marker was, and it's awful close.
And they're going to bring the chains in, and this will determine if Maine South season continues for another at least 101 or if it comes to an end.
61 seconds remaining. Charlie Goro, you see him coming up now. That's a good sign. And now finally on his feet.
Remember in the 1st half they stopped Maine South twice on 4th down.
Yeah.
And they did so again here, and the Caravan celebrate on the field.
Wow.
What an effort by Goro and the Hawks. But on 4th down, the Caravan make the stop for the 3rd time on short yardage in the ball game.
Wow. Bend but not break. We talk about this Mount Carmel defense, and another example of it right there. And now all you want to do for the Caravan is hold on to the football.
Why, what a leader, performer Goro is. Don't forget, we'll have our cn100 Comcast Network Player of the Game interview coming up right after the conclusion of the ball game.
Could be a number of people, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Brown, Williams. Lynch had a good game of orchestrating this offense.
George Brown with 2 touchdowns and that big 2nd half kickoff. He's done the punting as well. Handoff straight ahead. And Maine South takes a quick timeout.
Right.
They only have another left. But you never know. So they have one more timeout remaining. Then after that, it's take an E-time for the Caravan. And we talked about that Game Busters, Mark Kruger. And don't forget, Coach Cohn will be on the announcing team for the game tomorrow. The Game Buster 5. Well, all right, local prep fans are telling us they're enjoying our new sports feature called Game Buster 5. It's Comcast recognition of the top 5 impact plays from CN100's Game of the Week, and it's available only on Comcast On Demand. Look for crucial scoring plays, big hits, great catches, and game-busting turnovers. If you make the Game Buster 5, you've done something truly special for your team. Catch a new Game Buster 5 every week on demand, only on Comcast. Be sure to check cn100.tv for all the details of Game Buster 5.
Could have all 5 of those from this game here this afternoon.
Goodness, how do you pick those?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the Maine South crowd not giving up. They're hoping their team can pull out a miracle as Coach Lenti and the Caravan are now inside a minute to a return trip to the semifinals. Of course, this year they want to go back to Champaign-Urbana and complete the mission. They fell short the last 2 years, but when we talk about, they've been in the state championship game 14 times, which ties the Joliet Catholic for the record. They've won it 10 times.
And now they are on their way, perhaps, to getting to the title game for the 3rd straight year in a row.
And Lynch will just carry it himself, and Fahey is there and company.
Maine South with one more timeout.
They'll take it now.
Well, no, he shouldn't.
So 3rd down coming up, and then there won't be much time after that. They will probably have to punt it, and Maine South will bring everybody and hope for some miracle finish. This is their final timeout as the Hawks go to the bench. Folks, CN100 concludes coverage of the postseason. So 3rd down, 3rd and 5. And just keeping it on the ground, and Maine South hasn't wrapped up. So 4th down coming up, but they cannot stop the clock. They were doing everything they could to rip out the football.
Right, and you have to believe Mount Carmel might even take a delay a game here. They'll just run the clock down, but they will have to punt the ball.
Yep.
So still a little bit of life left for Maine South.
Or you take the timeout just before the delay.
Right, you tell the official, hey, we want 1 second on the play clock, we want to call a timeout.
So it'll be about, let's say, 13 seconds or so before the punt of the way.
You see the Mount Carmel players looking at the clock. They're right by the official. And there you go.
Okay, 12 seconds.
You were one off. Not bad.
Yeah. Usually it's a day late and $1 short, just a second this time. That's pretty good. So it's 21-14 your score, 12 seconds remaining. And Mount Carmel will have to punt it away. Maine South at least have some type of opportunity, whether it's trying to block the punt or get a return. Here comes Maine South, and they don't get the punt away. Here's Benson, and it bounces back. And it bounces back, and at the 32-yard line with 2 seconds to go, Maine South has one chance to do it. The ball, they're at the 32, and this is end zone, right, left, you name it.
There you go. Hail Mary time for Maine South.
Even though when you do a Hail Mary against Mount Carmel, it's a tough order.
Exactly. Boy, that ball, did that take a weird bounce or what?
A new quarterback, too, for Maine South. As Brian O'Toole, a senior, is in. Brian O'Toole in the quarterback, Maine South. So this young man, who we had to dig, look on the round quarterfinal match between Morgan Park and Wheaton Warrenville South. Boy, Wheaton Warrenville South, they had Dan Deerking win it all last year in 8A, and he goes down to Purdue, and they just reload, and they remain unbeaten. Here's O'Toole. And here comes the pressure. O'Toole cannot get away.
Glenn Foster.
As Foster, who was huge, comes up with the sack, and the Caravan hold on to win it.
Wow.
21-14.
Glenn Foster, we've mentioned his name all afternoon long.